Welcome to the show, folks. Welcome to the show. As you all know, this is Jiru. We're having a real talk today with Lacy Johnson. Lacy Johnson is running for Congress in CD5, Minnesota, November 3rd. Folks, get out and vote. It's very important this time around. And I'm here with Lacy Johnson today, and we're going to get to know him. Lacy, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you, Ace.
For sure. Let's begin, Lacy. Can you tell me your story?
Well, I'll give you a brief story.
Give me a brief story.
Because I could talk for days about my story. But you should know I was born and raised in Lacys, Mississippi. I've been in Minneapolis, living in the 5th District for about 40 years. I've raised a family here. I've been married for 33 years. Raised 2 sons here. So I'm a part of the community. Growing up in Mississippi, I was always goal-oriented. I had a strong family, and I just was, God blessed me with, I guess, a sort of tenaciousness.
For sure.
And you know, I guess a story to which best exemplify my tenaciousness. When I was in the 11th grade, I was a country boy, and I read about a chess tournament, and I'm the only black face in the whole place, 50, 100 people. But I said to myself then, I knew I was prepared,
right.
Game-wise. I was prepared emotionally, spiritually, and everything else. And I just took the attitude of the only way I will not walk out of here with this trophy is on a stretcher. They'd have to put me on a stretcher. Otherwise, I'm going to win this tournament.
Sure.
And so to make a long story short, I won the tournament. My senior year, I read about a tech writing job at Hennepin County. Went in and took a test. I scored the highest on the test, but they hired 4 white ladies instead of me. And so I had to fight to get the job.
Right.
I had to sue them to get the job, as a matter of fact. But here's the thing, to me, once again, it's just like chess.
Is that you're a chess player? Is that how you end up being a Republican? How do
Well, it had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
As far as strategy, as far as being analytical, as far as understanding in a beginning game, a middle game, in an end game. It's all like that. Politics involve all of that.
Right.
And once again, to me, it's not emotional. I don't look to politicians for love or anything like that.
Right.
I look at them for results and what they're doing for me. And I got a favorite saying, if you're looking for a politician for love, you're looking for love in all the wrong places. So to me, it's just, what do I get for what I give you?
Sure.
What do I get in return of my vote? And that's the way I look at it. How I got into politics, and God put it on my heart to do it, is that I did my very first Facebook post I ever did. I made a statement, and I knew once I made that statement there was no turning around. I made a statement that as long as black people are voting 90 to 95% Democrat, our situation would never get better. In fact, it'll keep getting worse. And I'm trying to do something to change that. I'm trying to get them to compete for our vote. I'm trying to get them to give us a greater return. And the way I look at it, a lot of times we are the swing votes.
Right.
And we shouldn't just be giving them away for free. The reason I'm sitting here running as a Republican, because I figured out a long time ago that the Democrats are just taking advantage of us. In fact, I'll be even stronger. They were scamming black voters. They were getting our votes every year, not doing anything for us. In fact, the situation will get worse.
Earlier, you mentioned about the new immigrants to America. You were mentioning the Somalis, the Oromos, the Latinos, the Hmong. We came from this third world, and when we come here into America too, they designed this oppressive system, and we're joining that?
Oh, yes. They're designing a system that has obstacles, and at the same time, they are teaching you the way to look at these obstacles in a way as something that you can't overcome.
We're not going to get out of this economic oppression like African Americans have not able to get out of it as long as we vote the Democrats.
I agree. There's 100% on that.
Now they got all of us into it. That's why they call us, now I see why they call us the Skittles, because they put all these people into one basket, the Democrats, right. And then they get into the office, they don't do anything like Joe Biden did for 47 years.
Yes. I agree.
Ah.
Well, here's the thing. The thing of this, and you know, sometimes everyone needs a short-term help.
Right.
And I can understand it when you first get here, you need
Right.
something to jump-start it.
Right.
The issue I have is that their whole philosophy is for the rest of your life, we want you dependent on us.
Exactly.
For the rest of your life, we want you dependent, we want you poor, and we want you voting Democrat. And you look at it, you take pride in working and taking care of yourself and your family, and you have goals and achievement, and you're ambitious, and you're tenacious. Those type of people generally are Democrats.
Right. In your campaigns, and I see you talk a lot about generational wealth.
Right.
Can you tell me the difference between generational wealth and what the Democrat side offers through their government welfare?
Well, it's the difference between giving people fish and teaching them how to fish.
Right. And you want to teach them how to fish? Or
I want to teach them how to fish. I don't want to give them fish. In fact, I want to say to them, if you're healthy, we expect for you to catch your own fish.
Right.
We're not giving you fish.
I love to catch my own fish. If I get a little one, I throw it back.
Right.
And get the big one.
Right, and we want you to think big fish.
Right.
We don't want you to think little fish. Like, when I think little fish, I think minimum wage of affordable housing program. See, that's what the Democrats give us, minimum wage. When I think big fish, I think maximum wage. I'm going to make enough money to afford whatever house I want.
Right.
I'm going to have a down payment. I have good credit. I'm going to have a good debt to equity ratio and things like that, and afford my own house and whatever house I want. So that's the differences. Generational wealth to me means you got assets that last the test of time. Right. When you pass away, your kids take over.
Right.
Even something as simple as having adequate life insurance.
Right, exactly.
You know, where if you kick the bucket, your kids get some good life insurance. So those are the type of things that I'm talking about.
For sure. Now, you represent 400 plus years of existence in America. Mm-hmm. I represent brand new one, like basically 20 years. What can you tell us, the new immigrants?
In fact, the beauty of the framers of the Constitution is that they didn't trust government. Versus liberals think the government is the answer to just about everything.
Right.
We understand the history. We understand why the founding fathers had separation of power, had checks and balances. And like James Madison, the father of the Constitution, said, if men were angels, we would need government. They knew there was a lot of devil in people, and they didn't want to trust the government with that power, because they knew power corrupts absolutely. Power corrupts absolutely. So that's the difference between us Republicans, us conservatives, and liberal Democrats. They think the government is the answer. We think government is the problem, and it should be small and always under control. And you got to always be skeptical of government. So and I think history is going to prove that.
It is, for sure. This already has proved.
Yeah.
Especially, I can speak this for the Oromos and the Somalis of the East Africa. Lack of guns kicked us out of East Africa, and Ilhan Omar, your opponent, when she votes against guns in America, it seems like she forgot.
Yeah.
The guns kicked her out of Somalia. And now, without guns, like, people can just start banging on us, and what we gonna do?
Yeah.
Run, go find another country. There's no way, Lacy, I'm not gonna find another country. America's great. I'm gonna be American, and I need my guns. So what Ethiopia did to us doesn't happen to us here in America too. And that is why I'm Republican. That is why I vote conservative. And 100% you're gonna keep the guns for us if you go to the Congress?
I'm a Second Amendment person, yes.
For sure.
Yes, I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe in the Bill of Rights. And I don't trust government to do the right thing.
For sure. And when it comes to competition and jobs in this CD5, because it's been run by the Democrats for the last 30 plus years, right. It's behind in the rest of the state. So what kind of plans you have for jobs in CD5, because we want to move toward a generational wealth?
Yeah. Well, one of the greatest things, I think, potentially greatest things that's happened recently was I talked about government providing incentive and getting out of the way. In the 2017 jobs and tax cut bill, they created something, a designation called the Opportunity Zone.
Right.
And that's where wealthy individuals who have capital gains, instead of paying taxes on those capital gains, they reinvest that money into poor, disadvantaged communities. Right. A lot of them are communities of color. A lot of them are communities of immigrants. from these different countries.
Right.
And what that does is creates a partnership between the rich and the poor, where everybody get raised up. Right now, I'm involved in one where we're really trying to bring technology company into these areas. We're trying to bring manufacturing companies, call centers, and create great companies offering hundreds of jobs, offering opportunities for the people in these communities. You'd be part of governance and executive management up there. But just as important, when we talked about creation of wealth earlier, they can own stock in these companies.
Right.
And once again, that's going to be part of the creation of wealth.
For sure.
These companies are also dedicated towards helping to fund education for the people in the community. So between the economics and the education, I think that's going to promote stronger families, and stronger families going to promote stronger communities. And then once again, we got the side benefit of generational wealth. So that would be my main plan and incentive.
I would love to see you debate Ilhan. I'm waiting for it. When are you guys going to debate?
Whenever she gets the guts to debate, which she's quit hiding from me.
What? She's hiding from
yeah,
you?
She's hiding.
Where's she's hiding now?
I think she's hiding out somewhere in Washington, D.C. somewhere.
But
I would love to debate her. Dude, in fact, anybody who's representing Ms. Omar, or Ms. Omar yourself, if you're out there, let's get it on. Come on, debate me. And in fact,
I want to interview her too. I just want to ask her one question. Did you forget that guns kicked you out of East Africa when you come to America and say Americans get rid of your guns? Ilhan, that don't work out. Don't do that stuff. Lacy, as we're toward the end of our interview here, do you have anything else to say?
Well, I just want to say to everyone who lives in the 5th Congressional District of Minnesota, native-born Americans, immigrants from Somalia, Ethiopia, Oromo, Latino, Mexicans, Hmongs, whoever you are, all new immigrants, and Americans who's been here, that I'm out here working hard for you, that I have complete faith and confidence in your ability to work hard, set goals, and achieve for yourself. I have such complete confidence in your ability and your desire to work that I don't think you need the government as much as the liberal Democrats and Ms. Omar want you to believe. I want you to know that I think you have an opportunity to be whatever you want to be in this country, and that we shouldn't be letting anyone make us limit our own possibility. And one last thing, and this is very key. Look, pay attention to the liberal Democrats and notice, even ones who are successful, they never say to you, this is how I did it, and this is how you can do it also. They really say, this is how I did it, but because of all these obstacles in life, you can't do what I do. Right. And you can't be what I be.
Right.
I mean, if you think about Ms. Omar,
right.
She comes here, and as an immigrant, she gets a college education, she becomes a member of Congress, and yet still she turn around and tell you how racist and all the obstacles prevent you from doing what she did. And my message to everyone is, and I'm a little poor black guy from Mississippi who grew up during the Jim Crow era. Look, and I just mean this from the bottom of my heart. There are no obstacles in life you can't overcome. And so stop listening to all these people who are riding your backs for your votes and not concerned about your life. They want you to be always dependent on government, and if you're dependent on government, that means you're dependent on politicians. And if you're dependent on politicians, that means you're dependent on them.
Right.
And that's the scam they use to get your votes. I just have 100% confidence that you can do whatever anyone else can do, and don't listen to people who are telling you about all these obstacles in your way. Thank you very much.
For sure. There you have it. That is a real talk. That is why this show is called The Real Talk, because that is what I'm looking for, because I don't want any fake talks. This is Lacy Johnson. He's running for CD5 in Minnesota, November 3rd. Congressional District 5 of Minnesota. Get out and vote. And here's a story today. You learned that he's from Mississippi. 40 years lived here in CD5 of Minnesota. His thing that he said today, that big takeaway that I took, is new immigrants. When you come to America and you join my condition, that is, you are expected to be a liberal, vote Democrat, remain poor, and he wants to break that cycle. I appreciate it. Thank you for tuning into the show. Until next time, peace.
Peace.